What would you say if I told you that there's a covers album out there, and these covers are songs that are being done by artists such as Agalok and Enslaved, Gorguts, bands that we talk about perhaps on this channel in a hushed tone as compared to the rest of the world and the rest of the musical universe, but now they're getting their covers treatment. It's finally happened. What would you do? I'll tell you what I would do. I would get my smoke of choice ready, my drink of choice ready, my pill of choice ready, whatever it is that I truthfully enjoy, that I really like to imbibe. It's something that I would certainly prepare in celebration, because finally after years and years and years of torment with the Punk Goes series, and they have another one coming out, Punk Goes 90s 2, which I'm not touching, there's finally a covers album out there that really speaks directly to us metalheads. Because of the bands that are listed that are being covered, we can finally celebrate. Metal Goes Metal Volume 1, we can be happy about this. We can celebrate. This is something that finally happened. It needed to happen. It required happening. Can you just imagine? Imagine if a band like Alcé was, covering the Agalok, if they were the people that did it, Enslaved, maybe they're being covered by Watain or something like that, The possibilities here are absolutely and totally endless, and I have gotten the opportunity to listen to this. I've gotten the opportunity to listen to Volume 1, to Disc 1 of Volume 1 of this album, and I have some choice highlights that have been prepared, and I want to thank all of our folks and friends over at Metal Sucks for hooking me up with this. You bunch of fucking assholes. You bunch of fucking pricks. You bunch of fucking dicks. We're still pals, but at the same time, you and I right now, this is kind of a Hannibal Lecter, Will Graham scenario right now, where I still like you, but part of me wants to eat you fucking whole. Because this, we should be celebrating, but instead this is something that we must talk about, because it's caused nothing but unadulterated rage. It's caused nothing but unadulterated torment, and it's something that requires me to calm down and first speak to you guys and say what has happened. So let's start by going track by track, and you're going to be horrified, ladies and gentlemen. Those with weak constitutions may want to turn the video off right now, but you'd be missing probably the video of the century. Those of you who have weak constitutions about the state of metal right now should just run away and hide in a corner, or commit suicide, or just listen to something much better than this. Let's get going. Metal Goes Metal. It begins with Limbs, which is originally done by Agalok, but it's being done and performed by Memphis Mayfire. They just released a new album, an album that I'm going to touch, an album that I'm going to slam and destroy, no doubt based around the rage that I have over this cover. Agalok is a band that requires softness, it requires a little bit of tact, it's something that requires atmosphere, all of which are devoid from this song, completely, totally, and without any sort of attempt to put them in the song. We have As Fire Swept Clean the Earth, which was originally done by Enslaved, being handled, wait for it, by the Black Veil Brides. You know how I feel about the Black Veil Brides. You know how I feel about the fans of the Black Veil Brides. I'm sure they're just like, ooh, who's this new band they're covering? The original sucks, and the Black Veil Brides version is the best. It's amazing, and it speaks to me and saved my life. This might kill me. This is incredibly awful. The one gentleman that I spoke praise towards whenever I reviewed the last Black Veil Brides album, their guitar player couldn't even fucking get this lick down. Couldn't even get the lick down for this song. This is not that hard. We're not talking Stevie Ray Vaughan. We're not talking Vi. We're not talking about Yngwie fuck Malmsteen. This is Enslaved. And I'm not saying Enslaved stuff is simplistic, because it's not. There's a lot of complexity towards it. That's the reason why the progressive Viking metal or progressive black metal, whatever you want to call it, whatever genre depiction you wish to give it, this is something where it isn't as difficult as they made this out to be, and they made it sound nothing like what you would expect. Now, I understand the covers culture. I understand that covers is putting it in your own style, but this is not even covering the song. Deranged Epidemic, rather. Apologies. Originally done by Disgorge. Being handled by Miss May I. No fucking comment. Whenever Disgorge is being handled by Miss May I I don't even have to talk to you about the track because this alone speaks for itself. No, it doesn't. Bewitched, being done originally by Candlemass. Now, I can tell that there are so many people out there that right now is like, Candlemass is on here, yes, that's awesome, that's good, oh my god, I wish Candlemass was back, Candlemass was awesome, god damn it, why is Candlemass broken up? Probably because of this song, because they knew, and they heard, somebody told them, all these years ago, whenever they decided to break up, they were like, you know, Attila is going to be handling one of your songs for a compilation called Metal Goes Metal in the Future. Maybe a palm reader told them this 2 years ago, and they were like, that's it, fuck it, we're out. Because damn, I never thought that Candlemass somehow would go from sounding like the soundtrack to my doom, something that perhaps, if I decided, for one reason or another, to kill myself, maybe I would throw this on. But then Attila somehow makes it sound like it's a goddamn party. It isn't a goddamn party, Attila. You don't party to kill yourself unless you're really, really fucking weird. But that's what this sounds like. Capture the Crown, doing You Suffer by Napalm Death. I thought this was a joke, and then I saw the track time. The track time is 2 minutes and 47 seconds. How the hell they did this, I don't know. And see, I just did nothing for 4 seconds. I could have done the song better than they did. That's all that really needs to be said. How do you expand this song another 2 minutes and 40 seconds or whatever the fuck it was? It was awful. It was horrible. You didn't understand even what they were doing because I don't think they even knew what they were doing. I think they just went into the studio and just decided to go for 2 minutes, improvise the whole goddamn thing. So it's not actually You Suffer. Take that name off of it, please. Solidified one. By Deathspell Omega being done by We Came as Romans, you didn't come as Romans, you didn't come to cover a Deathspell Omega song because you covered your own goddamn song. That's right, this was one of their own tracks. I can't believe that they even put this name on it. I can't believe that Fearless Records looked at this and said, oh, that sounds pretty damn close, let's go with that. Well, they did, because that's exactly what happened, and that's bullshit. Fuck you. Of Mice and Men doing March of the S.O.D, I thought that maybe this was one. I thought that maybe this was one that actually could be done pretty well. I know I just covered Of Mice and Men and I didn't exactly give them the best of reviews, but this was the one out of all of them that wasn't the worst. This is the one that was actually halfway decent, but of course, whenever you consider who S.O.D is, and what S.O.D is all about, you kind of understand that. I mean, you could have Britney Spears cover a Gwar song, and so long as something about it was kind of funny, it would make sense, it would work. So that one actually kind of gets a pass, which is weird. Gypsy by Mercyful Fate being handled by the story so far. King Diamond! King Diamond! His health is already not that great. This song, if he ever hears it, if he ever hears this song, if somebody, some asshole, some terrible human being, some terrorist of musical society decides to play this for him, it might just kill him. It may just kill him. He may kick the bucket, that might be all. No more King Diamond. Because this is atrocious. Mercyful Fate... What? What more do you want from me? This was awful. This was not something that you needed. This is something that needed not to happen. But it happened. It was awful. A blaze in the northern sky. Now all my black metal people are going to be like, what the fuck did they do? Because Bless the Fall did it. And really, that's the best way to describe it. What the fuck did they do? They turned black metal, into emo-core. I saw Bless the Fall live a long, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, with people that I really don't wish to ever see again. And it was bad then. It's even worse now, because they're covering a black metal song and made it emo-core. How is it that you cover Darkthrone and you have vocals that sound like... How you do it? I don't know how. I know I just did it, but I did it as an example. I did it as satire. I did it as fun. You guys were doing this for an actual song that was recorded and put on a goddamn album. You can't do it. You don't do it. Why did you do it? It's not the worst thing. We're going to get to the worst thing last. Sleeping with Sirens doing Inverted by Gorguts. Now, first off, Gorguts. Gonna see him in about a week. Not telling them about this. Not letting them know that this happened. Because they'll just stop. They'll quit. They'll be like, I'm done. See ya. I'm out. Bye. I'm not even going to talk about this song because I made it 5 seconds in at this stage of the game, considering we're already about 9 or 10 tracks in to what I was actually able to deal with. And I was just like, no, fuck it, I'm out. But there was one more track that I needed to talk about. There was one more track that I needed to hear, just simply based around what was going on. They have an album coming out later this month. Later this month in April. Reborn Through Hate. Originally done by Coroner. Being done by Amur. Being done by Amur. Frankie Palmieri and Company. Being done by Amur. This is like if Fred Durst decided, you know what? You know, I'm a really, really big fan of Satyricon. This is like Fred Durst saying, you know what? I'm a really, really big fan of Cannibal Corpse. I'm going to cover one of his songs. I'm going to cover a Cannibal Corpse song. And then Fred Durst covers the Cannibal Corpse song, and you realize that it just sounds like, you know, I don't know, Break Stuff, Part 17. If you're touching this song, I'm so sorry. I really am. Coroner, if you're watching this, I hope that you're watching this. I really do. That'd be really cool. But I'm sorry. I really am. I apologize on behalf of, like, the world. I apologize on people that I can't even apologize for because I don't work for Fearless Records. I'm not in a band. I have no connection whatsoever. But I'm apologizing on their behalf for doing what they did to your song. Please, don't kill me. Please don't stop, you know, recording as a band. Please do everything that you were still planning on doing. Act as though this never happened. This is a blip on the radar that's somewhere way over there. It never happened. It never occurred. This is something that was just, you know, a flash in the pan. We're doing everything that we can to remove the evidence. We really are. Don't kill me. Don't shoot the messenger. Shoot them. Shoot the band. Kill them, please. Put out a hit. Get a mercenary. This is all the further that I could go. This is all the further that I could make it and muster myself through on this album, because this is just an awful and atrocious idea that Fearless Records did for the almighty dollar, for themselves and for all of these bands. Secondly, when the fuck are we going to get punk or metal goes country? When the shit's that going to happen? When are we going to have people talk about Jason Aldean and Eric Church and, you know, Luke Bryan, Miranda Lambert? I can't even talk right now because I'm trying to say so many goddamn things at once. Why the fuck did this have to happen to metal? Why does it that this fucking Fearless Records piece of shit has to do this with all the things that are actually good with this world? Is it because they don't want to touch country music and they want to touch the rest of this stuff because they themselves like it? Well, that's fine. I'm glad that you like it. I understand the covers culture. I'm glad that you enjoyed the music, but you're ruining it. Why ruin stuff that was already good? Don't do that. That's dumb. That's bad, poor form, sit in the corner, and await execution. So what have we learned? Let's recap this video. First off, Metal Goes Metal is an idea that never, ever, 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 ever needed to happen, but it did. Secondly, Fearless Records wants to destroy everything that we love and try to replace it with their shitty bands. And they're doing a pretty good job considering they're kind of popular. If they decide to leave Fearless Records and not honor the contract by doing one of these songs, they'd be okay and find another record contract just fine. And thirdly, if you're taking this motherfucking video seriously right now, April fucking Fools. And have fun, motherfuckers.